So research question is an sub item of the problem. Problem is the broad perspective.
Okay. Any other observation? What is problem and what is the research question? Dharam Singh, can you tell? Kobita?
Sir, research question is Mr. said, more specific to certain problems.
Research question is very much specific. Very
Yes.
good. And research question includes the variables to be measured. Okay. But in problem, it is very much general in nature. It is the background of your research question. So now I am requesting Farah to share the screen. Which is paper 3. Screening and searching. Very good. Oh. Cecilia is living through a tough situation in her research life, figuring out where to begin, how to start her research study, and how to pose the right question for her research quest is driving her insane. Well, questions, if not asked correctly, have a tendency to spiral us. Questions lead everyone to answers. Research is a quest to find answers, not the vague questions that Cecilia means to answer, but definitely more focused questions that define your research. Therefore, asking appropriate question becomes an important matter of discussion. So, this is the comic presented by Farah. The question here, Cecilia, what are you doing? Just sitting here, pondering my life and my place in the universe. What does it all mean? What motivates me? Have I made the right decisions? I thought you were doing research. These are open questions too. So this is the open question, but this is not the typical research question. It is the open question. So it is very much related to the problem. So what is research question? Research question is a clear and concise query that guides the investigation and exploration of a particular topic or issue. It is the foundation of a research study, providing direction and focus for the entire investigation. A well-defined research question should be specific and precise. Identify key variables and concepts to be explored. Explored, it will be the D, okay. Indicate the relationship between variables, if applicable. Be answerable to data collection and analysis. Align with the research objectives and goals. Address a gap or need in a current knowledge. be feasible to investigate within the resources and constraints. Example, what are the effects of climate change on crop yields in India? So this question gives you clarity about what will be your statistical analysis and what will be your variables for the study. Questions are very, very specific.
Sir,
Yes, Kavita.
sir, a research question, we are very much anxious how to formulate. If you explained, very much helpful to us.
Yeah, in case of the research question,
Puzzling area, sir.
I understand. For example, the question is very clear. What are the effects of climate change? So climate change is the independent variable. Okay. And climate change has several effects. This is clear from this research question. And the dependent variable is on crop yields. That means there are different type of crops are there. So in India, different states are there, different climatic zones are there, and whether the crop yields vary across the different climatic zones, and whether the climate change has any effect. Now it is clear.
What is the main problem here, sir? This is the research question. But what is the main problem? After that, we formulate the
So
research
now you
question.
think about what is the problem. Problem lies there. That is in India, different farmers, they are yielding different type of crops. Okay. And due to some climatic change, sometimes they are not getting sufficient crops. As a result, they are committing suicide. So that is the problem. Okay, farmer suicide sometimes happen due to failure of yielding the adequate crops. And as a researcher, you are thinking that maybe the climate change has some effect.
So, sir, the broad perspective must be the decrease or increase in the yield, crop yield. And we are focusing on
broad
point.
Problem. Yeah.
And we are focusing on the climate change. So that makes it specific, so that we are restricted to very specific variables.
Yes, correct. Crop yield is the major issue.
Sir, if we formulate this research problem, they call increase or decrease. That's why the farmer is also suicide commits suicide. There is another area of the research also.
Yeah, but here the issue is climate change is there. So as a researcher, you are thinking that maybe due to the climate change, crop yields differ. Okay, the problem is very wide, but a research question is very specific and it should be measurable. In your research question, the independent, dependent variables are very clear. Next is what is the effect of safety training on safety consciousness among workers in manufacturing industry. So again, it is the question, very specific question. Safety training is provided, and whether the safety training is able to develop safety consciousness among the workers in manufacturing industry or not. If it is, then what is the effect? So independent, dependent variable are very clear. You can think of the moderating or mediating variable for your research. So research question should be very specific. And the problem lies here, safety training is important. Okay. Zero accident, that is the policy of any manufacturing industry. The policy is the zero accident. So how do you achieve the zero accident? For that reason, you have to provide the training, safety training. Next. Now the key characteristics of structured and comprehensive systematic literature. First one already done, define research question or topic. Second one, develop a systematic search strategy. Identify relevant database and search terms. Screen titles and abstracts to inclusion for inclusion. Access full text articles for eligibility. Extract data from included studies. Analyze and synthesize the data. Report the result in a transparent and comprehensive manner. So this is the key characteristics of SLR. Next. So what are the challenges and the limitation? One challenge is it is very much time consuming and resource intensive because you have to collect the data from different sources. Examiner can ask you this question, that is, you have given this reference. That is good, but whether you have studied the full article, and then you will tell, no, sir, I have studied only the abstract. For PhD purpose, that will not be accepted. So be careful. Require expertise in research methodology and analysis. This part is very, very important. When you want to do the literature review, you must be very careful about the research methodology. It is not like that. That is, you have identified some themes, and based upon the themes, you have collected some of the researches, and you are writing all the researches. It is not like that. You have to compare the different researches. Number 3, may be subject to bias and errors. So this is a very common for any research. Some errors might be there in your literature review. For example, you have collected literatures from the journals, but not the gray articles. But there are some gray articles conducted by a respective university or research institute. So you do not have that information. So that is the loss of information in your research. Limited by the quality and availability of existing research. This is also the similar problem. By the quality and availability of existing research. Sometimes you will find that is one research is available and that book or that journal may be available in particular library. And when you go there, then you have not found that particular library, this journal or the article. That may happen, but that article is important for your meta-analysis. Okay. Therefore, these are some of the challenges and limitations of SLR. Next. Step-by-step guide to help you with the searching and screening process. I think we have already done it. Define your research question. Start by formulating a clear and focused research question or hypothesis. This will guide your search strategy and ensure that your review is relevant and precise. So when you have the research question, that research question includes the independent, dependent variable, and the research question will facilitate to formulate the hypothesis. For example, the people or the workers of the manufacturing industry who received the training on safety and who did not receive the training on safety. Is there any difference between the two categories of workers with respect to safety consciousness? So that is your hypothesis. That is your another. So this question can provide you some of the hypothesis. So the hypothesis would be, there would be significant mean differences in safety awareness between the workers of manufacturing industry who received training and who did not receive the safety training. Okay. Develop a systematic search strategy. This part is vital because whatever your problem or whatever your research question, in the research question you will find several variables. And you have to use some of the keywords for searching the literature related to your research question. For the same, you have to use the Boolean operator. Here, Boolean operator is not the plus sign or minus sign, which is earlier this system is there, but nowadays this Boolean operator includes and, no, not, sorry, and, or, not, etc. So these Boolean operators that will help you to refine your research. For example, Farah, can you show your graph? So this is the graph. Frequency distribution in 3D chart. When in the PubMed, the keyword is 3D technology, you will find more number of researchers are there. After that, 3D technology and anatomy. Then more refined researches you have noted. And you have noted that is some of the research is very much related to the statistics. So you are thinking that is you have to remove the statistics part. So you are writing 3D technology and anatomy, no statistics. No or not statistics. Okay. Then 3D technology and anatomy, not statistics and humans. Because you have noted some of the researches are related to the animals. Therefore, you have removed this animals issue. So you have written and humans. After that, you have written 3D technology and anatomy, not statistics and humans and printing. Then you will get more refined research that will be useful for your literature review. So the frequency distribution in the 3D chart we have done today in the morning, this analysis. So you can do the same thing for your purpose also.
Yes.
Now go above. So this is the distribution. Initially 3D technology 93,000, but at the last time we have received 188 data. So it is more refined if you apply the Boolean operator. Instead of no statistics, para you will use the not. Okay, go above.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so this is the, and there you can use some of the filters like publication date, language, document type. So there are several filters that you can use for finding your research area. Next, select database. Choose databases that are most relevant to your field, such as PsycInfo for psychology and related discipline, PubMed for biomedical and life science, Scopus, a broad multidisciplinary database, Google Scholar, useful for finding a wide range of articles, but be mindful of quality control. You can use the Web of Science also. You can use Science Direct for your search database. Next, conduct the search. Run your searches, use your defined keywords, record search results, script tag of your searches, including the database use, search terms, and the number of results that just now I have shown to you. Next. Title and abstract screening include and exclude based upon the relevance. Review title and abstract to quickly determine if the study is relevant. Use inclusion or exclusion criteria. Develop criteria based on your research question. For example, in this particular 3D technology, the exclusion criteria is the animals and the statistics. So these are the exclusion criteria. Inclusion criteria is 3D technology, printing, and human figures. So that is the inclusion and the exclusion criteria. Full text screening, read full text. If you get the chance to read the full text, please you read the full text. That will be very much useful for the critical appraisal. So you can study the different type of design used by the researchers and sample size, methodology, and probable findings, potential bias. All those things are available if you study the full paper. Next, data extraction and management. Extract key information, use a data extraction, form a software, for example, Excel, Covidence to record details like author, publication, year, methodology, findings, and relevance. I have already told you that is how do you make the literature table. So this is the literature table. Organize the data, group studies by theme, methodologies or outcomes to help with synthesis later. Okay, so data extraction, and you will put all the data in your Excel so that you will prepare one literature table. Next, literature review table is vital. Based upon the literature review table, you can develop the codes and subcodes. Next is the synthesize findings. Summarize and synthesize, integrate findings from the selected studies to identify patterns, themes, and gaps in the literature. So this part is vital because if you write down that is no studies yet been conducted on this type of problem, it has no value. Okay, because the examiner will ask several questions to you. The question may be, you have shown the literature review and there are a lot of the studies conducted on this particular topic, but still you are writing no studies yet been conducted. That you cannot tell. You can indicate that is their approach is this area and that results some difficulty to understand some of the research question. For that reason, you are thinking that is, this is the gap in our literature, so we have to pay much attention to this issue. After that, you have to present the patterns, themes, and gaps in the literature, then structure your essay to present the methodology, findings, and implications clearly and logically.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, this is the area where actually we can formalize or structure our systematic review just different than the other reviews which have taken place till now, no, sir?
Yeah, that is the narrative literature review is there. They are not following the systematic literature review approach. So they are following different approach. They are the narrative literature review. So they are also getting the perspectives and they are classifying all the literatures maybe into 3 or 4 perspectives, and based upon that they can write down. So maybe their perspective is related to the methodology aspect, or maybe the conceptual aspect, or maybe the sample aspect. So any particular area they can think. So that is the gap.
Because normally when we formalize our research question, in that research question already there is a it is taken that there is a gap.
There is a gap you have identified.
Yeah,
You have identified there is a gap.
yeah.
Okay. For example, in our research, our objective is to classify the workers based upon their safety awareness. How can we classify? The problem lies there, that is the huge training cost for the safety management. So can we reduce the safety cost of the company, safety training cost of the company? If so, then how we can? That is our current research of RPRIT. Okay, now any other question?
Yeah, which area we find the research gap, probable area for research gap, sir?
Which area? Sorry,
Gap
I'm
in
not getting.
Methodology.
Yeah, from the methodology point
Hello,
of
sir?
view, you can think about is there any gap in research or not? Maybe some researches have been conducted on the adult people, okay, but not the senior people. So that is your approach. Maybe you are thinking that is the senior people, they are growing nowadays. So you have to find out the psychosocial stress of the senior people. For example, nowadays, many youngsters in Kolkata, they are coming out to show their protest related to the justice. But the senior people, they are also interested to join, but due to their health, they are not able to join. So they are feeling some sort of alienation. Okay, maybe that is your observation. So you want to study that particular area.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, Shayan, now you tell me.
Sir, I think before refining, I mean, after the refinement, when I'm having the more knowledge about what are the keywords to be used, so the keywords can change in between the Boolean operator that I'm proceeding to go into research. So my research question also be changed during this process, the knowledge I'm gaining to the, I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
okay, so there is no
Iteration will be there.
correct. Okay, iteration. Okay.
Iteration will be there. Your research question will be defined. That possibility also there.
It will more narrow down, basically,
Yeah,
depending on what kind of papers I'm getting.
correct. Farah, any other things? Oh, 8. The document the search process. Keep detailed records of your search process, including database search keywords used. I have told you already, that is, how do you write down the search process? How do you keep the record? By following these steps, you will be able to systematically search, screen, and synthesize literature effectively for your essay. Okay, now any other thing? No.
Yes, sir. Sir, done.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes, now you ask me. If you have any question about the literature review, please you ask me.
can I show me my Excel file, sir?
Sure,
That coding, sir.
definitely.
Yes, sir. Please make me host, sir.
Yes. Coding and the subcodes,
Sir,
both things will be there.
subcodes, just can you tell, sir? Is it visible, sir?
Very small. Okay, it is visible.
Sir,
You can
I will
increase the,
zoom, sir.
you can zoom. Yeah. Now it is clear. Wow,
Like this I have done, sir.
very good.
So title, year, author, journal, objectives, participant, tools, results, statistical analysis, whether it is there.
And what is your comment?
Comment as such I have not given, sir. Just I was struggling with the coding because
Okay.
some papers they are having duplicate motives. Like I have given this 3DTM as one code.
What is the meaning of EIM?
Sir, 1 minute. EIM is, sir, effectiveness in the learning. 3DTM is the studies. Why this is coming in between? Sir, can you see, sir?
Yeah, I can see.
Yes, sir. 3D models in trading, traditional versus modern education is 3DTM. ITA is innovative technologies in anatomy teaching. EIL is effectiveness and impact on learning. SPT is surgical planning and training application. ERM is ethical review and methodological studies. And AVSA is application in veterinary or specific anatomies. Like someone has done 3D studies in certain organs or in veterinary. Somebody have done studies on ethics and methodologies. Somebody have done in surgical planning. Somebody have done effectiveness or impact on the learning by randomized controls. Somebody have just narrated as an innovative technology, and somebody has done 3D models in traditional versus modern education. So some studies are like overlapping between 3DTM and EIL. Is it okay, sir?
Yeah, so broadly 2 categories are there.
No, sir. 5 categories. 6
Broadly,
categories.
broadly.
Yes, sir. Broadly 6 categories.
6 categories. No,
Yes.
you have to think about the 2 or 3 categories maximum, broadly. After that, under that theme, there will be some of the sub-theme.
So I have to mix these categories again.
Yeah, you have to reduce the number. It
Okay.
will be maximum 4.
Maximum
If
4,
there
sir.
are
We can
more
give.
number of studies, you have only 188 studies. And just to imagine 188 studies and divided by 4, then how many will be there?
$64. No, sir. 63, I think. 40. 43.
Correct. So the issue is that if you divide all the literatures, it is not more than 50% per categories. Per category, not
Sir,
more
can you
than
repeat, sir?
50%.
Sir, I did not understand, sir. Can you repeat, sir?
Just to imagine, if you have the 250 data, 250 literatures, okay, then if I say you have to classify these 250 literatures into 3 categories, so that per category will be at least 50.
Okay, sir.
Then you can tell that is okay, per category, at least I will make 3 categories.
So, sir, categories like will guided by the number or by research questions, sir. Means if only 25
Number, that is how many themes you have.
Okay.
How many themes you have.
Like I presented on my PPT, so I had different research questions. So if I focus only on the effectiveness of the traditional versus 3D printer in education, so they must have done the studies, given a
So
lecture
you
or
have to classify all the literatures into, if it is 150, then you can think about that is all the literatures will be classified into 3 categories or 2 categories.
Finally,
so
if
that
we
at least per category 75 people, 75 literatures will be there, or 50 literatures will be there. That is better.
Okay, sir. So after getting at least 50, then we can focus on that 50, sir.
Yeah, this 50, under that you have to think about the subcategories.
Okay.
So that is the function of the researcher, is to diverge the ideas into multiple perspectives and to converge the ideas into minimum perspective. So initially what you have done, that is the divergence. That is good. After that, you have to converge.
So, sir, can you just tell me by example, like
or you have to synthesize. You have to synthesize. Initially, there will be the divergent ideas you have. You are reading one article and you are finding, okay, this is related to the printing. And you are studying another literature, you are finding this is about the surgery. You are reading another article, then that article indicates something other than these two. So you are writing. Again, there is one code you have writing. After that, you have to synthesize the codes so that there will be some main themes and some sub-themes. Under some main theme, there will be some sub-themes.
Sir, one doubt, sir. Is there any requirement that for any theme I need at least 50 papers of that theme to make
Sorry, I cannot follow. What is?
Is there a requirement that to be a main theme, it needs to have at least 50 papers on the that topic? 50
Generally,
or 60?
there is no such strict criteria. And if the examiner will find more number of researches have been conducted on this particular area, and you have covered very minimum areas, then the examiner can ask you this question to you. That is, you have not covered sufficient literature.
Okay, so basically you have to break down from bigger chunk to smaller chunk, clustering That's what we will do.
Yeah, because finally it will go to some examiner, no, who is the expert
Yes.
in that particular area.
Yes.
So they are regularly studying. So they can tell you that is okay, this is the area where more researches have been conducted, but you have done very few. You have shown very few research.
So, sir, we proceed from theme to sub-theme or sub-theme to theme, sir?
Theme, under the theme, there will be some sub-theme. Theme is the abstraction of the concept. Several sub-themes are there, and you are merging those sub-themes into one common theme. It is just like PCA. You have more number of variables, and finally you have noted that is the variables are highly correlated with each other. So you are getting limited number of dimension. So limited number of dimension, that will be your target.
Sir, just one question, sir. I am having confusion in this only. Like now I have searched many papers on the 3D printing. Now I got like some papers are focused on the comparison between traditional and modern education. Means difference between it and the printed model. Some papers are focused on it as a innovative technology in anatomy teaching. Some have exclusively focused on effectiveness or the impact on learning between the it and the traditional. Some have focused on the surgical planning and training. Some have focused on the ethics, review and methodology. Some have focused on the application on the animal studies. So are these not themes, sir? Means these are not themes. Can we take these as themes?
They are the several sub-themes.
Okay.
There are several sub-themes. And if you merge the sub-themes, then you may get only the 3 themes.
Okay, sir. Okay, now I understood.
Okay. It is just dimension reduction principle.
Yes, sir. Principal component analysis.
Since you have idea about the PCA, you can easily understand.
Yes. I will stop share, sir, now.
Yeah. Now, any question?
Sir, I have just only one confusion about the configuration of the research questions, because more of the
I cannot follow. What are you telling?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Just having a doubt about the formulation of the research question, because there will be multiple iterations, and if the what if my initial assumption is not that much right about that topic? And
So can you write down in the chat box, because you are telling many things.
Yes.
Please you write down in the chat box so that I can read it. Dharam Singh, is it clear to you? Okay, Shayan,
Yes.
you have written about the research question. formation, then what is the question? About the research question formation with several iterations, the direction of the literature may completely change from initial ideation or throughout process. Yeah, if there is some gap in the literature, that possibility is there, but you have to finish this iteration. Okay, Shayan, you have to do the iteration. That possibility is there. Your research question may be changed. Now, for example, once upon a time, Professor Hertzberg, he thought that he will study on the job satisfaction. So initially he thought that is the workers, what are their needs, and if they are satisfied with their needs, that they are satisfied, otherwise they are dissatisfied. But after studying 5,000 articles, Professor Hertzberg, after studying 5,000 articles, he concluded that job dissatisfaction is not the opposite of job satisfaction. But initially he thought that when the employees are not able to satisfy their needs, they are dissatisfied. But finally, he concluded, no, job dissatisfaction is not the opposite of job satisfaction. And there is one famous anthropologist who went to Africa and he collected data from Africa. And before submission of the PhD thesis to the university, you cannot imagine, that is, he burned the thesis.
That is what appears. So now I get it. I mean, once you are, now I get it. I mean, research question should be a broader area to start the review. But once you are completely defined, and from the gaps you are supposed to get the questions well. Maybe this one works.
Okay. Because he thought, that is, whatever he wrote in the thesis, that is not the representation of the people's mind in South Africa. So he burned the thesis. Then he again went to the Africa and he developed new methodology, totally new methodology. That is the participant observation. So in this approach, you will find that is there are many people, they are doing lot of researches. They are not satisfied. They are not satisfied. And they are doing a lot of the iterations. Iterations are very common. Okay. So now I am closing the session.
Sir, just last question.
Yes, sir.
Any method for iteration? I mean, are there any protocol for iteration? How to conduct iteration?
This is my suggestion. Initially, you have to collect some qualitative data. You have to do